This is race number 242 on your programme. In lane 1, Sydney Rowing Club, Dylan Boakes. In lane 2, Sydney Rowing Club, Nicholas Clifton. In lane 3, William Johnston from Toowong. In lane 4, James Hoban from Mercantile. In lane 5, Nicholas Stevenson from Melbourne University Boat Club. In lane 6, Matthew Stamatis from Adelaide University and the South Australian Sports Institute. In lane 7, Samuel Jashke from University of WA. And in lane 8, Josh Stubbs from UTS. And the official results of race number 239 have now come through. It was a win for Buckingham in a time of 7:01.8. Second confirmed as being the Haileybury and Melbourne University composite of Ethan McCoach and Roland Crantock. And the margin just 0.64. And the bronze medal awarded to Brisbane Grammar School's Logan Ulrich and Miller Rowe. The under-23 men's single scull A final is now in progress. In lane 1, Tom Collins from ANU and the ACT Academy of Sport. In lane 2, Tyron Borman from Black Mountain and the ACT Academy of Sport. In lane 3, Darcy Ruck from Commercial and the National Training Centre. In lane 4, Caleb Antill from ANU and the National Training Centre. In lane 5, Hugo Langsford from Adelaide University and the South Australian Sports Institute. In lane 6, Henry Yule from Tamar and the Tasmanian Institute of Sport. In lane 7, Sam Marsh from Swan River and the WA Institute of Sport. And in lane 8, Alexander Kinsella from Mercantile.
The defending champion in this event is Tom Schramko of Mossman Rowing Club, and Tom Schramko went on to win the World Championship in the under-23 men's quad scull, and part of that crew is Caleb Antill, who's in lane number 4 in this field. He's undefeated in international competition, and he's going to have a pretty tough race ahead of him here. Hugo Langs was having a very fine season for Adelaide University. He's in lane 5. Henry Yule, the super talented Tasmanian, in lane number 5, and lane 6, and we've got Darcy Ruck down at the NTC for Commercial Rowing Club, and Tyron Borman of Black Mountain, who made the big announcement he was going lightweight and then has rescinded on that. He's at 76 kilograms of raw power, and one of the most anticipated races of the week, this under-23 men's single scull, as they start to make their way up towards 850 metres covered. 3 out. Henry Yule of Tamar has taken it out very strongly. He's moved ahead of Langsford. And then the sculler 5 out. Caleb Antill also faring very, very well out of lane number 4. He's coached by Andrew Randell and Renee Domichens. And it's those two that have really put the power down in the first half of this race.
The presentation of medals for the Under-19 Men's Coxless Pair Championship of Australia. The medals will be presented by Margaret Mackenzie, Life Member of Rowing Australia. Third place and bronze medalists, Brisbane Grammar School. Logan Ulrich. Miller Rowe. The crew was coached by Scott Rowe. Second place and silver medalists, Haileybury and Melbourne University. Ethan McCoach of Melbourne University Boat Club. Roland Crantock of Haileybury School. The crew was coached by Rick van Hooijdonk. The gold medalists and Australian champions for 2017, Buckingham Rowing Club. Jared Weiss. Nick Cash. The crew was coached by Darren Purcell. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our 2017 Australian champions and medalists in the Under-19 Men's Coxless Pair.
And the A final of the Under-23 Men's Single Scull, making its way down to the last 250 metres. Caleb Anthill has led all the way, and Tyron Borman at just 76 kilograms. He can't match these guys when it comes to size, but he's coming down the course at 36 strokes a minute as he's trying to get within a couple of lengths of Caleb Anthill, the race leader. Henry Yule is back in third place, and he's there with Sam Marsh of Swan River, who's currently in fourth. Langsford is next for Adelaide University, and then back to Darcy Ruck in sixth position. But Tyron Borman throwing out a challenge to Caleb Anthill at the head of the field. Instagram would break if he was to reel him in. But at the head of the field, Caleb Anthill looking very strong from the Australian National University Boat Club and the National Training Centre in Canberra. And he's looking like he's going to go on and take out the Under-23 Men's Single Scull Championship of Australia. Very fine performance from Tyron Borman in the red colours of Black Mountain. He will claim the silver medal. And Henry Yule from Tamar in Tasmania, coached by Brett Crow out of the Tasmanian Institute of Sport, will claim third. And we then followed by Sam Marsh of Swan River in the West Australian Institute of Sport. Darcy Ruck has finished it off strongly and rode through Langsford of Adelaide Uni to place fifth, Langsford sixth. Seventh will be Tom Collins of the Australian National University, and Alexander Kinsella of Mercantile will be eighth.
The results of that A final of the Under-23 Men's Single Scull, a win for Caleb Anthill of ANU and the National Training Centre. Second, Tyron Borman of Black Mountain and the ACT Academy of Sport. Third, Henry Yule of Tamar and the Tasmanian Institute of Sport. Fourth, Sam Marsh from Swan River and the WA Institute of Sport. Fifth, Darcy Ruck of Commercial and the NTC. Sixth, Hugo Langsford of Adelaide University and SASI. Seventh, Tom Collins of ANU and ACTAS. And eighth, Alexander Kinsella of Mercantile. Time for that race, 7 minutes, 7.48 seconds. The margins, 3.75 and 3.75. The presentation of medals for the Under-23 Women's Single Scull Championship of Australia. The medals will be presented by Margaret Mackenzie, Life Member of Rowing Australia. Third place and bronze medalist. The University of Queensland and National Training Centre sculler, Caitlin Cronin. Caitlin was coached by Ned Drayden. Second place and silver medalist, representing Melbourne Rowing Club and the Victorian Institute of Sport, Ria Thompson. Ria was coached by David Orchard. Gold medalist and Australian champion for 2017, representing Sydney University Boat Club and the National Training Centre, Rowena Meredith. Rowena was coached by Alfie Young. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate all our medalists and our Australian champion in the Under-23 Women's Single Scull. The B final of the Under-21 Women's Single Scull is in progress and the A final has just started. In the A final, in lane 1, representing Mercantile Rowing Club, Michaela Ballas, coached by Bridget Carlisle. In lane 2, Mossman Rowing Club's Frederica Gibbs, coached by Judith Ungermach. In lane 3, representing Melbourne University, Charlotte Wirtz, coached by Annabelle Eaton. In lane 4, representing Sydney University Boat Club, Dion Bettiga, coached by Alfie Young and Debbie Fox. In lane 5, Olivia Bartram from UTS, coached by David Geely and Tim McLaren. In lane 6, Grace Galloway from Mossman Rowing Club, coached by Judith Ungermach. In lane 7, Griffith Uni Surfers Paradise and the Queensland Academy of Sport sculler Morgan Reamer, coached by Lincoln Handley. And in lane 8, Gemma Sibyllin from Mercantile Rowing Club, coached by Bridget Carlisle.
The scullers in lane number 4 and 5 are doing very well. Dion Bettiger of Sydney University Boat Club, coached by Alfie Young and Debbie Fox. And in lane number 5, UTS, Olivia Bartram, coached by Dave Geely and Tim McLaren. They're the two that have really moved out well as they come past the bridge area, which is indicating that they've covered 750 metres. And so there's two scullers in the centre of the field that have gone or gotten away well. Mercantile's Michaela Ballas also starting strongly over on the far side of the course. Starting to drop back a little bit in lane number 8 on this side. Gemma Sibyllin, coached by Bridget Carlisle of the Mercantile Club in Melbourne. And she's just starting to lose contact with the sculler alongside of Morgan Reamer of Griffith University Surfers Paradise. And also Mossman's Grace Galloway out of lane number 6. But Bartram of UTS looking very good here as they move their way up to the 1,000-metre mark. And Bartram just leading from Bettiger of Sydney University Boat Club. And over on the far side of the course, Michaela Ballas They're in third spot. Charlotte Verts just 0.50 seconds back in fourth. Galloway next, followed by Gibbs of Mossman, Reamer of Griffith University, and Sibyllin just losing touch a little bit with these leaders. Olivia Bartram, the race leader. She started off her rowing at this very course at Loretto Normanhurst, who are the tenants of Boatshed number 2 over on the back lake, and moved across to UTS a couple of years ago and had great success, part of the Australian junior team last year, and doing well in the move up to under 21s, leading this A final of the under 21 women's single scull. Coached by Dave Geely, who started off his rowing at St Joseph's College and then moved to coaching at the University of New South Wales and Loretto Normanhurst, and is now the head women's coach at UTS Rowing Club. And Tim McLaren, the legendary UTS head coach, who has won Olympic medals in 3/4 of the men's boat classes as a coach, an Olympic silver medalist in his own right. So they're now making their way up towards 1,300 metres covered, and it is still Olivia Bartram leading, and now just starting to move out to some clear water over Dion Bettiger, the captain, or the women's captain at Sydney University Boat Club. And Grace Galloway is putting in a strong third 500 metres for the Mossman Club, and trying to move up along with Charlotte Verts of Melbourne University Boat Club, coached by Annabelle Eaton. Gibbs of Mossman seeing it around about 3/4 of a length in arrears of the sculler on the far side from Mercantile Michaela Ballas. And they're now just starting to edge their way up towards the 1,500 metres. And it is Olivia Bartram with just over a boat length on Charlotte Verts of Melbourne University. Bettiger has been pushed back to third, and then followed by Grace Galloway of Mossman, and then the other Mossman sculler, Frederica Gibbs, who's recently moved across there from Leichhardt Rowing Club to train with Judith Ungermack, the Olympic gold medalist and Olympic silver medalist from 1988 and 1992. By no means the biggest sculler in the field, Olivia Bartram. She's very, very neat technically, and still maintaining to hold her advantage over Charlotte Verts of Melbourne University Boat Club. Dion Bettiger is coming back into contention, and Frederica Gibbs has been one of the bigger movers in the back half of this race. She's pushed well clear of Michaela Ballas, who looks as though her charges come to a bit of a halt over in lane at number 1. And now starting to come under some fire from the two scullers on this side of the course, Morgan Reamer of Griffith University Service Paradise and Gemma Sibyllin in the battle for the very minor placings at the back of this field. So just 250 metres or less to cover for the bulk of this field. Olivia Bartram still in the lead from Charlotte Verts, and Frederica Gibbs of Mossman has now just started to move ahead of Dion Bettiger of Sydney University Boat Club. And then it is back to Galloway in 5th place for Mossman Rowing Club. But Charlotte Verts is mounting a very strong challenge to Olivia Bartram at the head of this field in the under 21 Women's Single Scull Championship of Australia. And Frederica Gibbs is certainly posting the strongest back half of the race of the entire field as she's moved up into 3rd place, and looks as though the medalists are all sorted. It just depends in which order. So just about half a dozen strokes to go in the Under-21 Championship of Australia for the women's single scull. And Olivia Bartram is set to hold on. Charlotte Verts not taking too much more water off her, and half a length or so will be the margin in the end. Olivia Bartram, national champion for UTS. Second, Melbourne University's Charlotte Verts. 3rd place to Frederica Gibbs of Mossman. And 4th to Grace Galloway of Mossman. 5th to Dion Bettiger of Sydney University. Reamer gets 6th for Griffith University. Ballas faded to place 7th, and in 8th place is Gemma Sibyllin of Mercantile.
And the official results of the under-21 women's single scull A final: a win for Olivia Bartram of UTS in a time of 8 minutes 27.71. Second, Charlotte Wirtz from Melbourne University, the margin 1.53. Third, Frederica Gibbs from Mossman Rowing Club, the margin 2.64. Fourth, Grace Galloway Mossman. Fifth, Dion Batiga, Sydney University Boat Club. Sixth, Morgan Reamer, Griffith Uni Surfers Paradise. Seventh, Michaela Ballas Mercantile. And eighth, Gemma Sibyllin Mercantile. The presentation of medals for the Under-23 Men's Single Scull Championship of Australia. The medals will be presented by Margaret Mackenzie, Life Member of Rowing Australia. Third place and bronze medalist, representing Tamar and the Tasmanian Institute of Sport, Henry Ewell. Henry was coached by Brett Crow. Silver medal and second place, representing Black Mountain and the ACT Academy of Sport, Tyron Borman. Tyron was coached by Renee Domischens and Andrew Randall. Gold medalist and Australian champion for 2017, representing ANU and the ACT Academy of Sport, Caleb Antill. Caleb was coached by Andrew Randall and Renee Domischens. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our 2017 Australian champion and the medalists in the Under-23 Men's Single Scull.
So we just had the B final of the Under-21 men's single scull, and it was Swan River's David Latham that crosses in first place and claims ninth in the event overall. West Australians John Pisano second, Alex Grezkoviak of Capital Lakes third, and he was followed by Bridge of University of Queensland, and then Adelaide's James Price, Coleman of Melbourne University next. Morgan Brooking was seventh, and in eighth place, Swan River's Solomon Holiday.
We now move to the A final of the Under-21 Men's Single Scull. In lane 1, Tom Davidson from Toowong. In lane 2, Oscar Winter from West Australian Rowing Club. In lane 3, Angus McGlashan from North Esk. In lane 4, Devlin Walsh from Sydney University. In lane 5, Charles Wheatley from Sydney University. In lane 6, Jackson Free from Griffith Uni Surfers Paradise. In lane 7, Lockie Seymour from Corowa. And in lane 8, Matt Murray from Sydney University Boat Club.
So Charles Wheatley of Sydney University Boat Club that leads this Under-21 national final in the single scull for men. He's the brother of Nick Wheatley. He's coached by Dustin Butler and Don McLaughlin at Sydney University Boat Club. And he's had a very, very fine season. He's a New South Wales champion in the scull. He narrowly missed out on selection into the Noel Wilkinson Cup 8, the Youth 8 for New South Wales, and channeling all his efforts into the single scull and doing very, very well. Here out of lane number 5, and on this side of the course, Matt Murray of Sydney University. Out of lane number 8, an unfancied lane number 8. He's moved into the single scull after Marcus Britt hurt his back earlier on this season, and Matt Murray, who has Trust Truth tattooed on him, is certainly trusting his race plan here out of lane number 8 and trying to sneak a medal from one of the outside lanes. And this field being still led by Charles Wheatley of Sydney University Boat Club. Oscar Winter putting in a fine performance in the Cardinal colours, second from the far side of the course for West Australian Rowing Club. He's coached by Joe Tamigi, and he's having a good battle with Matt Murray. And the other of the Sydney University scullers, Devlin Walsh, who's in lane number 4, and North-Est Angus McGlashan trying to get in on the action and sneak a medal in this one. Over on the far side, we have Toowong's Tom Davidson, who's back in 6th position. And then Jackson Free of Griffith University Service Paradise, the son of Marcus Free, his coach, is in 7th place. And in 8th place, Cora was Lockie Seymour, just finding the pace a little bit too hot for his liking. So the head of the field, though, Charles Wheatley of Sydney University Boat Club, just 120 metres to cover. And Oscar Winter of West Australian Rowing Club in the silver medal position. Devlin Walsh of Sydney University in 3rd, and Matt Murray on this side of the course next in 4th spot. And trying to see if he can get a bit of an overlap with his clubmate here and sneak a bronze medal. But the gold medal set to go to Charles Wheatley of Sydney University Boat Club, ahead of Oscar Winter of the West Australian Rowing Club. He's just bending those arms right at the end, trying to just get those strokes in. Devlin Walsh gets the bronze medal. Matt Murray places 4th for Sydney University. Tom Davidson of Toowong 5th. 6th, McGlashan of North-Est, followed by Jackson Free of Griffith University Service Paradise in 7th. And in 8th place, Lockie Seymour of Corowa.
The results of the A final of the under-21 men's single scull. A win for Charlie Wheatley of Sydney University Boat Club, coached by Dustin Butler and Don McLaughlin. The silver medal to Oscar Winter of West Australian Rowing Club, coached by Joe Tamigi. And the bronze medal to Devlin Walsh of Sydney University Boat Club, also coached by Dustin Butler and Don McLaughlin. In 4th, Tom Davidson from Toowong. Matt Murray of Sydney University Boat Club. In 5th, Tom Davidson of Toowong. In 6th, Angus McGlashan of North-Est. In 7th, Jackson Free of Griffith Uni Surfers Paradise. And in 8th, Lockie Seymour of Corowa. Time for that race, 7 minutes, 22.63. The margins 3.53 and 0.45.
So in about 10 minutes' time, there'll be a schools briefing in the breezeway between the boat sheds. So between boat sheds 3 and 4 is the undercover area known as the breezeway, and that's where the schools briefing will be taking place at 10 o'clock, so in around about 10 minutes' time.
And just a reminder, please, to all coxes, coaches, crews, to return your bow numbers to bay number 4 as soon as you have finished racing. Please return your bow numbers promptly. The presentation of medals for the Under-21 Women's Single Scull. The medals will be presented by John Boltby, Life Member of Rowing Australia. Third place and bronze medal to Mossman Rowing Club, Frederica Gibbs. Frederica was coached by Judith Ungemach. Second place and silver medalist representing Melbourne University Boat Club, Charlotte Wirtz. Charlotte is coached by Annabelle Eaton. Gold medalist and Australian champion for 2017, representing UTS, Olivia Bartram. Olivia is coached by David Geely and Tim McLaren. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate the 2017 Australian champion and the medalists in the Under-21 Women's Single Scull. Race number 249 on the programme is now in progress. This is the A final of the Under-23 Women's Coxless Pair. The current title holders are Melbourne University Composite. In lane 1, representing the University of Queensland and Adelaide University, Phoebe Pardo and Kate Rowan. coached by Alfie Young and Ned Drayden. In lane 2, representing the University of Queensland, Tyler Ferris and Miller Ferris, also coached by Ned Drayden. In lane 3, Melbourne University and the Victorian Institute of Sport, represented by Jackie Hart and Annika Hoffman, coached by Annabelle Eaton. In lane 4, the composite of Mercantile and Melbourne University, Elise Frenetic and India Dempsey, coached by Simon Gadsden and Bert Koku. In lane 5, a composite from the University of WA and Fremantle, Annabelle McIntyre and Bronwyn Cox. In lane 6, representing the University of Queensland and Griffith Uni Surfers Paradise, Hedda Cooper, supported by the Victorian Institute of Sport, and Ellen Posey, supported by the Queensland Academy of Sport, coached by Ned Drayden and Lincoln Handley. In lane 7, a composite of UTS and Mercantile rowers Georgia Stewart and Emma Fessy, coached by David Geely, Tim McLaren and Simon Gadsden. And in lane 8, a composite, Melbourne University and the University of Queensland, Kelly Drenth, supported by the Queensland Academy of Sport, with Claudia Zucchelli, coached by Ned Drayden and Annabelle Eaton.
An absolute domination here from the University of Western Australia and Fremantle. So that is Annabelle McIntyre of Fremantle in the bow seat and Bronwyn Cox in the stroke seat. We've seen Cox racing for many years now with Bree Kennedy-Smith. She's now switched pair partners to Annabelle McIntyre of Fremantle. They came through the 1,500 metre mark. They had nearly 10 seconds on the rest of the field, and they are adding to it here in this last 500 metres. They come into the last 80 metres of this race, and they have absolutely put this one to bed. One of the standout performances of the regatta this morning so far on the first day of finals at Sydney National Rowing Regatta. It is Annabelle McIntyre of Fremantle and Bronwyn Cox of the University of Western Australia smashed the under-23 women's coxless pair A final. And the minor medals, Elise Frenetic and India Dempsey of Melbourne University and Mercantiles, they're set to claim the silver medal ahead of Griffith University and University of Queensland. That's Hedda Cooper and Ellen Potsy. So great backing up from Hedda Cooper in the single scull only about an hour or so ago. And then next is Drenth and Zucchelli out of lane number 8, who were very strong through the middle half of that race. And they finished just ahead of Hart and Hoffman in 5th. Stewart and Fessy of UTS Mercantile were next in 6th, followed by Ferris and Ferris, the former Australian junior team members, in 7th place. And in 8th and final place will be the crew over in lane number 1, Phoebe Paddo of Adelaide University and Kate Rowan of the University of Queensland.
Well, an excellent race there in the A final of the under-23 women's coxless pair. An outstanding win for the University of WA and Fremantle composite of Annabelle McIntyre and Bronwyn Cox. Both are supported by the Western Australia Institute of Sport. Second, the Mercantile Melbourne University composite of Elise Frenetic and India Dempsey. And third, the University of Queensland Griffith Uni Surfers Paradise composite of Hedda Cooper and Ellen Posey. In 4th position, Melbourne University of Queensland composite of Drenth and Zucchelli. In 5th, Melbourne University crew of Hart and Hoffman. 6th, the UTS Mercantile composite of Stewart and Fessy. 7th, University of Queensland Ferris. And 8th, University of Queensland Adelaide University Pardo and Rowan. Time for that event, 7 minutes 20.86. The margin 13.06 and 0.94. The presentation of medals for the Under-21 Men's Single Scull Championship of Australia. The medals will be presented by John Boltby, Life Member of Rowing Australia. Third place and bronze medalist representing Sydney University Boat Club, Devlin Walsh. Devlin is coached by Dustin Butler and Don McLaughlin. Second place and silver medalist, representing West Australian Rowing Club, Oscar Winter. Oscar is coached by Joe Tamigi. Gold medalist and Australian champion for 2017, representing Sydney University Boat Club, Charles Wheatley. Charles is coached by Dustin Butler and Don McLaughlin. Ladies and gentlemen, please congratulate our 2017 Australian champion and the medalists in the under-21 men's single scull. As the B final of the under-23 men's coxless pair comes across the finish line, Tom Barnes and Charlie Patterson of Sydney Rowing Club and the New South Wales Institute of Sport leading Jack Wheeler and Tom Sanders of Banks, the A final of the men's under-23 coxless pair gets underway. The current title holders are Mercantile Rowing Club. In lane 1, representing Melbourne University and Mercantile Rowing Club, Jack Lawrence from Mercantile and James McCann from Melbourne Uni Boat Club, coached by David Pincus. In lane 2, from Fremantle and the University of Western Australia, Fraser Pensini and Willis Armstrong. In lane 3, from Mossman and the New South Wales Institute of Sport, Mercantile and the Victorian Institute of Sport, Rob Black and Liam Donald, coached by Simon Gadsden. In lane 4, representing Adelaide University, Adelaide Rowing Club, Tim Santon, supported by the South Australian Sports Institute, and Jack Courts, both coached by Jason Lane. In lane 5, from the University of Queensland and Queensland Academy of Sport, Adam Backer and Harley Moore, coached by Ben Southwell. In lane 6, Sydney University Boat Club, Andrew Judge and Jacob Bicknell, coached by Don McLaughlin. In lane 7, Toowong and the Queensland Academy of Sport crew of Elliot Apel and Nick Pettigrew, coached by Ben Southwell, and lane 8's crew from Mercantile has scratched.
So we've just gone through the halfway mark now of race 251, the A final of the under-23 men's pair. Just confirming too that race completed early. The B final won by Sydney from Banks. Thomas Barnes and Charlie Patterson first there in the B final of the under-23 men's coxless pair. But the A final being led by a two-state combination on lane 3, as it has been right from the first timing check. Liam Donald of Mercantile and the Victorian Institute of Sport, and with him Robert Black of Mossman and the New South Wales Institute of Sport, coached by Simon Gadsden, and they've extended their lead at the halfway mark out to a little bit over 3 seconds. So 3:15.06, the Mossman Mercantile time to halfway. The University of Queensland, they're in second place. That is the lane 5 combination of Adam Backer and Harley Moore, coached by Benjamin Southwell. And about 2 seconds back behind them, Sydney University would be in third place. That's lane 6, Andrew Judge and Jacob Bicknell. These pairs continue on now down towards the 1,500 metre mark, just out of medal positions at this stage. Toowong and the QAS out in lane 7, Appel and Pettigrew. Then Adelaide Uni and Adelaide lane 4, Melbourne Uni Mercantile in lane 1, and also Fremantle and the University of Western Australia in lane 2. But our race leaders continue to be that lane 3 combination from Mossman and Mercantile, Liam Donald and Robert Black, who've got a very handy lead indeed now with 3/4 of this race done. 4:56.77 their time at the 1,500 metre mark, and 5.2 seconds they now have over the University of Queensland, Adam Backer and Harley Moore in second place. And more than a length behind them sits Sydney University, Andrew Judge, and Jacob Bicknell in third place. So those three crews currently sitting in the medal positions that they have most of the way down this 2,000 metre course. Osman Mercantile from University of Queensland, and then Sydney Uni in the centre lanes of the course. Toowong still there in fourth place. The Adelaide Uni combination would be fifth. Melbourne Uni Mercantile in sixth place, and Fremantle University of Western Australia in seventh. But less than 250 metres to go now for our race leaders. Robert Black of the Mossman Rowing Club and the New South Wales Institute of Sport, and with him Liam Donald from Mercantile and the Victorian Institute of Sport, still holding clear by at a bit more than a length margin from the University of Queensland. Adam Backer and Harley Moore looking to finish fairly quickly here in that second place crew at this stage. Still a length or so off the pace, but certainly fighting out every stroke here in the concluding stages. And alongside them, still in third place, would be Sydney University, Andrew Judge, and Jacob Bicknell ahead of Toowong over here in lane 7 in fourth place. But it continues to be Mossman Mercantile over there on lane 3 who lead this race, and just a couple of strokes to go to claim the Australian title in the under-23 men's coxless pair. Mossman Mercantile first by a neat couple of lengths as they cross the line now. Second place will go to Backer and Moore of the University of Queensland. And third place still Sydney University, Andrew Judge and Jacob Bicknell. Next time will be the Adelaide and Adelaide University combination. Then it's lane 7 Toowong and the QAS. And then over to the far side, Melbourne University. Melbourne will finish in sixth place, and seventh will go to Fremantle and the University of Western Australia.
And the unofficial results for race 251, the under-23 men's pair A final. First, Mossman Mercantile Composite. Second, University of Queensland. Third, Sydney University. Fourth, Adelaide University Composite. Toowong in fifth. Sixth, Melbourne University Mercantile Composite. And seventh, Fremantle and the University of WA. The presentation of the medals for the under-23 women's coxless pair champion of Australia. The medals will be presented by Mr. John Boltby, life member of Rowing Australia. In third place, the bronze medalists from University of Queensland and Griffith University Surfers Paradise, Hedda Cooper and Ellen Posey, coached by Ned Drayden and Lincoln Handley. In second place is the Mercantile Melbourne University Composite, Elise Frenetic and India Dempsey, coached by Simon Gadsden and Bert Koku. And the gold medalist and Australian champion for 2017 is the University of Western Australia and Fremantle Rowing Club Composite, Annabelle McIntyre and Bronwyn Cox. Please congratulate the 2017 Australian champions and medalists.